Alrighty, guys. Game number 2. Very important here for the guy in the very far top left corner to win it, or he is out of our tournament here. It's going to be Razer-sponsored Illusion. Currently teamless at the moment, but he has really made a showing here. Hopefully teams are wanting to pick him up very soon. I believe he deserves it. Very far bottom right corner, guys, from Acer, up 1-0 in the series. Wants to end this with a quick 2-0. It's going to be Scarlett from Acer.
All right, well, let's see here as Scarlett looked very dominating in game number 1, although she did play very well in game number 1 of the first time these guys played as well. Yeah. And Illusion was able to follow it up with very successful early aggression that kind of caught Scarlett off guard. She wasn't able to recover, and we pushed to that quite epic game number 3. We'll see if something similar develops here, or Scarlett just wants to close things out right with this map.
I love the mix-up in game number 1. Suddenly Scarlett becomes a bigger threat than she already was. That potentially she could do any aggressive play against Illusion. She is up a game as well. So if she does go for an aggressive play, it could be a gamble if she wanted to, and could basically take out Illusion, or of course because Series 1-1, then she goes into her standard play. So everything that was done in game 1 was really good for the mindset for Scarlett, and really put Illusion on his rocker here.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, there's certain things that you have to do. Sometimes they don't even work, especially if you're playing a long best of. Let's say a best of 9 like we have in fight clubs all the time. Occasionally you'll see people that'll throw in really cheesy stuff. And it's not just because they're looking for the quick win or anything like that. It's just a plant that's in the back of their mind. Okay, well, you don't know what to expect now. You have to scout me more. You have to sacrifice your economy a little bit. You have to be on your toes. As it stands, though, Illusion's going to go for a very quick gas, actually building that barracks out in front of his natural.
Yeah.
Starting to wall off there while getting his gas back at home.
This one, Rax, is actually meant to snipe the Overlord, actually. And Overlord usually beelines straight across the middle of the map, gets behind that natural in the top right, and then maneuvers over the top left between the main and the natural. But with this Marine being out a little bit earlier, it allows him to A, look for an Overlord, or grab that Zelnaga and try and find it. Is he going to grab the Zelnaga and see it? No, he's actually going to go straight up aggressive here. And it's getting one Marine, or that's an SCP, okay. So getting that Marine, he needs to find this Overlord. That's the whole point behind it.
All right, well, gas is well on the way. Does have enough for an add-on right now if he would so desire. Could produce a reactor right after this onto the barracks, or save up that 100 gas and eventually a factory if we wanted to go down that route. And it's actually going to be a tech lab for now. Doesn't look like this Overlord has been spotted, or if it is, Illusion, yeah, not moving over to try and poke away at it.
Yeah, he's going to try and send it to that top right corner. Remember when Loose Front had the Marine there, so when he came for that Blue Flame Hellion attack, it's a little bit hard for that Overlord to actually get straight behind them without taking some kind of damage.
Right.
So, he needs to move it up, but unfortunately just kind of sitting there at the moment, so that Overlord might be able to make it in. Missing a small opportunity, unfortunately.
Reaper's going to be produced from Illusion here, who has already started a bunker in this little corner, and of course that's just going to cause his opponent to try and overproduce a bunch of stuff. She's forced to pull some drones off of the line. This bunker is no real serious threat of being constructed, though, unless Scarlett just ignores it. She's a little bit more worried, of course, about the eventual follow-up to this.
Yeah, she thought that the SCV was going to be killed off, but it got that miracle flow, even though low on HP, was able to get in the back right. But now finally going to be dealt with. But it looks like is that Overlord actually dealt with in the top right corner? Sweet. So the Reaper's going to be able to come in. This Overlord's just kind of stuck there, unfortunately, at the moment. So this Reaper will be able to pop into the main if need be and get some scouting information. But really, from now, it looks like Illusion just wants to keep map control, and he's moving into double command center here. So he's going to have 3 CCs on the field.
He can jump pretty officially into the main. Yeah, he's got to come up this one, then this one. So he'll expose himself to a few of the units up at the front. That shouldn't be that big of an issue. But you're right, the double command center on the way now. He is reinvesting back into his economy. Scarlett, on the other hand, going for that same build we saw last time. This time a little bit more reactionary than just trying to be proactive and switch things up into mutas.
All right, so Illusion has a pretty nice option here. He can go straight into Stimpak very quickly here. That's one of the great advantages of having Reaper expand. You grab map control, you get Stimpak out. He's even moving into engineering base here, so he might actually go up to about 5 racks here if he wants to. He's going to grab 2 right now at the moment, but really the production is going to start kicking in a couple minutes when he gets that 3rd command center finished up and he starts bringing down those mules. He'll have so many minerals just influxing in, and he essentially has a base over Scarlett already here at 5 minutes, or almost 6 minutes here, and we don't see Scarlett really going for anything too aggressive here. She's got the 1 gas. It looks like a 2nd gas, actually. But other than that, like, she's not going to have much aggression going on very soon.
All right, well, the 3 barracks in total just about to finish up here. So the 4th one is actually being planted inside of the main, +1 weapons on the way. And you mentioned the very strong buyout timings that he have available to him. Well, he's going to make his way out now with 3 Reapers. That's certainly going to produce a few reactionary lings from Scarlett, but he's not following this up, of course. Just wants to try and get his opponent to overcommit to defensive units. Yeah,
Reapers are really annoying, too. You don't really want to do anything unless you're on creep and you have speed available, because they will kite you and, of course, take out your lings very, very quickly. So Scarlett's forced to play very defensively here, and she's going to go ahead and play that route. She's going to double evolution chamber. Could be getting a third very soon as she's gotten her creep spread moving to the top left corner. But man, those grenades are actually pretty darn loud. But we have +1 on the way. Combat shield being queued up at the same time. Illusion just going to be moving up in tech and having an econ lead for a while here. I really liked his opening here. It's unorthodox, but it's very efficient if it doesn't go scouted.
And of course, that's the real fun of the Reapers being able to obliterate structures and consequently destructible rocks very, very quickly. So that's going to fall. Lucian will be able to saturate a second base very soon here in a moment. But with 4 barracks continually producing Marines with that combat shield, with that +1, he does have that timing available to him, and he's starting to move across the map to try and get whatever damage he can done.
All right, so Scarlett's also building up for another army crush here. She's got a layer already on the way, Bailing Nest being queued up, +1 being queued up as well. But with Illusion already moving across the middle of the map, he sees a couple of queens. He has some Marines for backup as well in case too many wings do pop out for Scarlett. But he's just trying to keep these creep tumors from expanding. And I actually think 2 Reapers with their little ability there to kill off building structures actually kill them off very quickly if they can get in there. So
yeah, they actually do the damage very, very fast. It's 30 damage per each one, even with the armor that you naturally get from buildings. Oh, bye-bye Reapers. They get cleaned up very quickly.
A little bit late there on the Marines popping out. So if the Marines were there, he actually would have killed off a number of those lanes and maybe saved one more Reaper. But at this point, the Reapers have done their job. They've kept the map control, allowed the 3rd CC to pop up. Unfortunately, not able to kill off as many creep tumors because Carl's just too darn good at it. But these Marines follow-ups will be able to get rid of them. And he should pull back after this because there are 7 lanes on the way and 22 lanes, and he has no idea if a 3rd's up or not.
Yeah, that would get crushed very quickly. He decided to go for the combat shield, so he wants to try and get a little bit of damage done at the very least. But now the Banelings are starting to run down, and the creep shred is still quite good. Illusion trying to split up his forces, and he has traded with these Banelings pretty cost efficiently. He's still going to lose everything, though, as a result.
Yeah, the combat shields are really helping out Illusion there. It takes 2 Baneling hits to actually kill off a Marine, so actually traded pretty nicely and efficiently. And as mentioned, with that 3rd command center out, he's able to remax very quickly in terms of having a lot of units coming out at the same time. And he's only 7 supply behind Scarlett here, and he'll actually start jumping up really quickly here as he's falling into, what is this, 3 more racks. He's really going for a heavy bio force, maybe a couple medevacs pumped in, but he really just wants to have constant reinforcements if he gets aggressive.
Just no add-ons at all yet. It's pretty much purely unupgraded barracks, so the Marine count is going to soar, yes, but eventually he will have to invest into those. The question is whether it comes after an attack or before. With these 3 new barracks done, no, he's just taking those and just producing straight Marines again. No add-ons at all.
Got +2 already on the way, +1 armor being queued up. Has Scarlett even scouted that 3rd command center? Actually, yeah, she did about the lanes in the top right. So now she's aware of that command center. Just unfortunate that she's not aware of how long it's been there. She knows that she is behind, though, because her hatchery is only a little bit halfway done, while that one's already resurging. It's an orbital. If we can actually look at the units tab really quick and get an idea of how effective that's been for him. 55 to 48 with 3 meals. The economy lead is so huge for Illusion. Scarlett's going to need to crush an army with these Banelings, and she knows it, too. 19 Banelings already on the way. Actually finished up with Baneling speed, about to finish up.
Oh, she has a good potential to try and bust right down through the front. It would take a lot of Banelings to go through the barracks, of course, but otherwise she has to go through a lot of well-split units off to the side. So we'll see what she decides to go with. And actually tearing back with her forces, no, now committing right to the front, going to surround a couple of the bunkers and pretty cost-efficiently deal with the Marines who have split up. But of course, then they get dealt with by packs of Zerglings very efficiently. Oh, but the Banelings are rolling into the main, and the natural SCVs are pulling away, but they're just not quite able to run away, and they're all getting caught up to by these speed Zerglings.
So he gets a decent hit there, but he can afford to lose some of the SCVs actually because he's had that economy lead, and for the most part, he's actually defending this pretty nicely and pretty efficiently with some more Marines popping out in the main. Oh, but some Bailing hits do hit in the main, and before that, he was actually pretty far ahead, but Scarlett landing some nice hits. She's doing really well with the splits there. Can we check out the workers kill? It's going to be scary here. Oh, 16, but...
It's enough to give Scarlett the lead again in overall economy.
Yeah, a little bit behind here, but Scarlett's also moved into the 4th base at the same time, and has got +2/2 on the way. So now the game becomes a little bit on the even side, and that huge advantage that Illusion had from that 3rd command center is quite stifled.
And it is Scarlett playing. We can't count out the creep spread. As you can see, 12.5 minutes, and she's already taken, actually, the Xel'Naga Tower from her opponent. So that's not a great spot for Illusion to be in. He's got to start expending some scans and be able to knock those out.
Yeah, nerf creep spread, man. I'm a Zerg player, and I'm so amazed at how far she gets across the middle of the map. Illusion's going to go and start clearing this out once again, but on the right side, you see there's more active creep tumors available. Has to use 2 scans, essentially, to even get rid of this, and that's 2 mules that you lose out on. Luckily for Illusion, he's gotten his 4th command center already on the way, starting that armory as well, so he can keep up the upgrades here. We'll be switching, it looks like, into Vikings very soon, as Scarlett is already moving into Hive and grabbing that Spire at the same time. So he's got a bit of a read on Scarlett's play.
Right, but we'll see what she can get done in the meantime, because she has remained pretty defensive after the initial back and forth at the beginning of this game, and isn't in danger of taking too much damage. Oh wow, the Banelings all getting out in front, and largely wasting themselves on just a handful of units. So Scarlett not with the best trade, gonna pull back to her Infestors and try and bait the rest of these forces in, and there's a pretty decent trade as Fungal Growth locked down the vast majority of those Marines.
Well, at the same time, we have Illusion on the bottom right corner trying to get some aggression in as well, trying to sneak into this natural or a base that could be there. Unfortunately for him, there isn't one there, but of course it's always great to know that your opponent doesn't have another base up, as he's already moving into his fourth. He's still keeping the aggression up, which is really great. It slows down Broodlord production a hefty amount, and you can see right here he's got Marauder here as well. That Marauder is essentially here just to tank Banelings. That Scarlett's been creating a lot of Banelings. He wants to put it in front while he splits his Marines.
And he's going to drop to the side with these, and no Overlords are in position to be able to deal with this. So once everything got cleaned up in the form of those creep tumors, he has a pretty open path to get in and do some damage. I think I saw a Baneling explode on these destructible rocks.
That was really clever by Illusion. You saw him fake the Medivacs going to the right, kill the creep tumor, and then picked up the two Medivacs because they were out of vision of Scarlett here. So he's essentially sneaking these Medivacs by, and Scarlett's getting aggression on this fourth base in the top left corner. It is close to a planetary, but no dice quite yet as it's not done.
Yeah, and the Banelings coming through are going to be able to finish that up. So frustrating when you have to lift that up right at the very end. It looks like Illusion's going to try and answer, though, with a big old drop of his own.
Yep, and this is going to force Scarlett to pull back and allow him to land his fourth command center, but it looks like a little bit gets some damage in. Needs to go and try and focus down those drones. Was trying to get the Queen. It will not be happening, and he is retreating, but at the same time, there is a drop in the third here. Drones are being picked apart at the moment. Queen taking a majority of the damage first. Corruptions, though, already out for Scarlett, and Illusion at this point should know, okay, Broodlords are probably coming out very soon. He's doing his best, though, in terms of picking up these Medivac drops and dropping more and more. He's dropping in the main at the same time.
Okay, well, this one in the main could do some damage as soon as he picks up that Spine Crawler, and he does. Fortunately, it looks like he's a little more worried about his forces in the middle. He wasn't controlling these here, as he still does have that pack running through the middle of the map, cleaning up creep tumors. So not as much damage done there as he would have liked. He probably could have picked up a few workers, but of course, wanted to make sure that as many of these stayed alive as possible.
All right, Fungals are being expended here, and it looks like, for the most part, Scar's got a decent economy, but she would really love to have that 7th and 8th gas on the left side here so she can get her Broodlords in. You can tell, she's batting to make nothing but Infestors. She's only got 2 Broodlords finishing up, and honestly, Broodlords are pretty strong, but they're not that strong that 2 are going to end the game here. With Illusion grabbing his 4th base, he's massed up a decent army as well. Only at 1 single supply, a little bit behind Scarlett, but that's pretty darn normal when it goes ZVT. So I feel like he's actually pretty strong as he's about to finish +3. I think he actually finished +3 attack weapons.
All right, but of course his window is kind of small just due to the fact that if he waits for much longer, the Infestors are going to continue to go up in number, the Broodlords are going to go up in number, and then things are going to get very, very dicey for him. So nice job by Scarlett to be able to delay this push for a little while. Now trying to swing it and just crush it outright. Good splits from Illusion around the side, but he's still on creep, even though he did take out the vast majority of those creep tumors. So Scarlett gets a fairly decent engagement here, but there's so many bio units left over that that Illusion's actually able to continue pushing up.
At the same time, he dropped in the natural. He dropped in the main first, but there were some lings there, so he had to pick up and heading to the natural with only 1 Marine, but it is picking off a couple of drones right away, and with the reinforcements, he's making his way straight into the 3rd base. The Broodlords are in trouble. Will he be able to snipe them? They are low on HP with Ling's reinforcements, so it's going to force Illusion back for a second here, while that lone Marine is still picking apart drones up at the natural. Killed off a couple of them, actually. Queen will finally be able to deal with it. Trying to focus down the medevac, actually, though.
Yeah, 6 kills, actually, on this Marine, so very cool stuff, as he's certainly been a pain in the side of Scarlett for a little while. How many workers have been killed in total? Looks like just 8 for Illusion, 21 earlier from the run-by from Scarlett. And her force still does continue to get more powerful, now up to 11 Infestors, up to 5 Broodlords, and the Corruptor count starting to go back up, but still a very difficult position as she's been forced to be on the defensive the entire time, and now Illusion's gone up to a 5th base.
Well, she's starting to get Broodlords finally out of the field here, so that's going to be helpful for a straight-up engagement. But Illusion's been doing a good job of just kind of be all over the place. There is another hatchery in the bottom right corner. If he can prevent that from happening, he will actually have an advantage in terms of bases. So he'll be able to trade pretty efficiently with his remaxing power. He's actually been doing a good job of constantly reinforcing the small force that's been in the middle of the map. And actually doing a good job. You never see Scarlett have her creep spread back this far. That's actually a huge testament to him, because she's still trying to constantly keep popping it up, but he's still killing off creep tumors.
All right. Well, now Illusion has a lot of of Marines out there. Not a lot of medevac support any longer, though. A lot of those have been picked off by the Fungal Growths and Corruptors before, so this army doesn't have a lot of sustain to it. So if Scarlett can get a pretty decent engagement, Fungal a lot of units in place, she'll be able to quickly surround and kill that. However, if we get a good split from Illusion, the DPS of his army is going to be pretty staggering.
All right, so she actually put the Brooders in the middle of the field here, and they're actually getting picked off, a couple of them. She was actually setting up a flank here as Lings are on the left side. He's trying to focus down whatever he can. He's actually going for the Corruptors instead, so his Vikings can reign supreme, and he actually kills off all the Corruptors, so now Brooders are just in trouble, and it's just Ling on the field here. More Marines are left over as well. Can he get the Infestors? He's trying to snipe the Infestors, landing the Vikings as well, so he can get them. So he actually takes out the majority of the Tech 3 tech there from Scarlett.
Yeah, that's true, but once again, they kind of fight themselves to a standstill. Getting rid of those Broodlords certainly beneficial for Illusion at the moment, but that Corruptor count is starting to go back up. The Infestor count is remaining pretty steady throughout this entire game. The Planetary Fortress is starting to chug away, though, and Illusion's economic advantage is continuing to grow.
Yeah, again, the hatchery in the bottom right corner for Scarlett has finished up, so she'll be able to transfer over there. And looking into the Harvesters, we're getting to a point where we actually had a problem with game number 3 when these players played earlier. We have too many SUVs here for Illusion, so he can't really max out a really strong army. I would actually like for him to sacrifice about 30 of these at the moment, just for one to be in the composition, but so he can remax really quickly. The problem is he just hasn't enough minerals and gas to quite do that.
All right, another scan goes down, but there are decidedly less Marines with this because most of them have loaded up in that medevac off to the left-hand side. No drones have transferred off to the right yet. That's purely being used for its production for now. Ultralisk Cavern is well on the way and should help curb some of what's coming at Scarlett from on the ground because this is a largely Marine-heavy composition. In fact, there's just one Marauder in the entire game.
I like the choice of Ultralisk here because there's so many Vikings on the field. It's going to really work out well for Scarlett, but engagement is happening. There's so many Lings, a nice amount of Banelings are going to be hitting. They're splitting up here from Illusion, but he just doesn't have enough forces, and it really goes back to him just having way too many SUVs at the moment. Vikings are going to be dealt with pretty efficiently, though, by the Infestors. There are some more Marines making their way on in, but a huge Baneling hit does land, and it looks like Scarlett's going to crush that army pretty nicely. 13 Marines on the way. There is a drop down in the bottom left, though, for Illusion, so that will prevent Scarlett from going for a straight-up counterattack.
That's right. So she's forced to deal with that. In fact, only one Marine was actually lost there, so very effective job from Illusion to kill another 6 or 7 workers while he sends a little pack of Marines down to the right-hand side. Scarlett's able to pick up on this one a little bit quicker, though, and Illusion's going to be forced away.
The Natural is going to have the drop, though. She pulls back a little bit too quickly, dealing with those Marines in the top right corner, and now with the Infestor popping out, will he get the one Infestor? Unfortunately not. A Fungal does land here right away, and Illusion will be losing that medevac as the Queen will deal with it. But at the same time, he's heading in the top left corner of the 4th base. Constant aggression from this kid, man. Illusion's such a beast sometimes. Scarlett's just doing a good job, though, with map awareness, with Spine Crawlers up and Spore Crawlers at the same time of dealing with these. He hasn't got as much damage done as he did in game number 3 of the last series.
That's right, and that's where Illusion had really shined because Scarlett, it wasn't that she didn't have great awareness or great map control or anything like that. There were just too many places to attack at the same time, and Illusion was able to just kind of pull Scarlett apart. Her multitasking wasn't quite up to the task there. But now Scarlett has shown that she does have a lockdown on the situation. She's gone with this very heavy Zergling, Baneling, and Fester Ultra composition, and that's been able to pretty efficiently deal with what Illusion has on the ground. But now his Marauder count's starting to go up. He's switched completely over into just medevac production from his starports, and he's going to amass a very strong force very soon.
You see his Marines dart forward straight into those Banelings, 2 of them more wasted, so not so afraid there, but a drop down in the 4th. Once again, a Broodlord is caught all by itself. Transfuses will be able to save it, but not enough. Too much DPS from these 3-3 Marines, and look, Scarlett is forced to pull back once again, allowing Illusion to get a nice amount of Marauders out and some Marines, and getting 4 medevacs at a timeout, which is going to be really helpful against the Ultralisk if he can get nice splits off.
So these two players have had some incredible games so far, and this one is really coming down to the wire as well. Illusion has had a pretty good advantage through the course of the game, but now he's going to be starved out just a little bit earlier because he had the very nice economy early on, because he had the so many mules at his disposal. He went through those spaces very quickly. The Marauders soaking up all of the Baneling shots up at the front. The Infestors still have a ton of energy, though. They drop down some Fungal Growths that allows the Ultralisk to get a decent engage, but a flank comes in from the side. Great reaction time from Scarlett, though, to be able to take out most of those units and allow the Ultralisk to do the rest.
Yeah, she landed perfect Fungals there. One group of units in the top right corner and units in the bottom left corner as well. Even though all the medevacs were there, she was able to half that army very quickly. And now Scarlett very far ahead in supply here, 200 to 152. Marauders constantly being popped out. Nice amount of Marines as well, but it's just Marine Marauder here. And although Ultralisks are kind of out of Wings of Liberty, if you have these many Ultralisks and you land a Fungal, you will shred through that army.
Yeah, that's right. And with the 4 additional ones being added on right now, it's going to bring her total to 11. And 11's a lot of Ultralisks, no matter what you have to be able to try and stop this. So more fungal growths pinning down the Medivacs, actually, and she will be able to deal with those. There's the infested Terrans. The rest of the Medivacs get locked down. Unfortunately, not able to follow it up with one more that would have killed about 3 or 4 more Medivacs, but as it stands, still great damage being done.
Yeah, the fungal there really forced Illusion to actually go into the engagement. Just unfortunately there for Scarlett, they were fighting by a small choke essentially with Ultras. Oh my gosh, that Ultras living with 3 HP. More Banelings on the way, and this is going to be the crushing kill here for Scarlett. 36 Banelings are on the way. She wants to end this game right now. She wants to either A, slam into the planetary fortress to catch SCVs, or just crush the entire army and follow up with reinforcements to end it. This is really her making a stance here saying, okay, I'm pretty far ahead. I can end this game now, and she's certainly going to try.
Well, we are completely split in half in terms of the map. Scarlett moving her creep up again ever so slowly, but now she's trying to assault that planetary fortress like you talked about before. Banelings coming in from behind, but they're actually trapped right now. They've got to be able to get through, but the planetary fortress is a goner. Despite that, the SCV's getting torn through as well, and Illusion has just lost a ton of economy.
Yeah, she fungled the SCV so they couldn't re-repair on the planetary fortress and then slam the Banelings in there. Now it's just Ultras charging forward, and he's actually doing a decent trade with what's left, but he's lost that base, which was really important, and the Infestors are going to be retained here for Scarlett. He's going to try and chase it down. Got to be careful there, running through that choke with the Infestors having some energy and getting some nice kills off, but again, losing that planetary fortress is what's really going to hurt him here. I like that he's retained all of his Medivacs, though.
Yeah, there's a Medivac for every unit, and that is going to prove to be pretty cost-effective against a large number of Ultralisks, but the issue is there's still a lot of energy left on these Infestors. The Fungal Growths are still doing some damage. The Medivac count is now starting to slip. Illusion is going to hold here, yes, but unfortunately he lost that base, and that allows Scarlett to sit back and remax in relative ease.
Ultras are stupid dumb, man. They just ran into all those Marine Marauders. And so now with some Infestors actually being halved as well, Illusion does have the availability here to do a bit of a counterattack, but you can see the supply already jumping up to 180 here for Scarlett. The thing is, a majority of them are Lings and Ultras, which again, as we just saw, can be pretty efficient if you do some nice kiting and you have these mini Medivacs. A nice amount of these Infestors are pretty low on energy too, so gonna try one more engagement. Can she land the money fungal? She does land it, and that should be the crushing blow to Illusion. With the reinforcements, he might be able to break on through, but again, there's just so many Ultras here and such much reinforcements here from Scarlett.
He has a decent-sized army because he had lost so many of his SCVs just a second ago, but Scarlett's done a really nice job of neutralizing this army as it continues to run up, get a good fungal growth, pick off some units, and just prevent Illusion from being able to push on forward. So she really does have a good grasp on this game.
He had a couple of units down the bottom left corner once again at that 4th base, but Scarlett did defend that right away at the same time. Her map awareness because of this creep spread is really being quite helpful. You will get that orbital on that right side. This is one of the advantages of being a late game Terran is you have orbitals at its disposal, so you can start moving towards the expansions once again. But it looks like the Scarlett just wants to end this with Ling Ultra going to run straight once again, but there's already a pre-split here from Illusion.
Okay, well, Scarlett now, Fungal Growths pinning down the vast majority of the forces off to the left. The ones off to the right are isolated and trapped behind the mineral line now. And the Infestors can actually kind of run blocker. That's it. That's GG. Illusion is eliminated, and Scarlett moves on to a rematch against Cronte Esports Club's Lucifron in the grand finals.
Yep, Scarlett will be advancing, but thank you very much for Illusion coming out. He's still a winner of $1,500, taking 3rd place here at the event. So I can't be too upset about that loss, but he had some great play overall. Just unfortunately, Scarlett's too good.
Scarlett is really good, and we're going to see how she performs in her rematch against Lucifron. Guys, we're going to run to a commercial break. Another giveaway is about to hit right now on twitter.com/IGNProLeague, so head on over there and retweet the tweet that pops up at 3 o'clock in order to win. For now, we're going to run to that commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.